What up, Facebook? Happy Thursday. I always feel so weird just sitting here in the first few moments waiting for people to come in here. But I'm just gonna do it. Just gonna sit and awkwardly wait for you guys. I hope everyone is doing alright. Having a good day so far, getting through the week. Almost at the end of the week. I don't know about you guys, but time seems to be just moving kind of quickly. I don't know, maybe some people are in the opposite mindset of time is moving too slow because of all the downtime, but I don't know, for me I just noticed time is just flying by. Like the weeks are just flying by already. Honestly, can't believe what is today, the 23rd of April already? My goodness, how did that even happen? It's crazy that, we've all been kind of going through this for over a month now. I don't know. That just blows my mind. I don't know about you guys, where you're at with that mindset. But anyways, still waiting for some of you guys to join in on here. When you do join in, I would love to hear from you. Got a couple people watching right now. I'd love to hear from you guys. Just do a quick check-in. How's your day going so far? How's your week going so far? What are some highlights that you've had from your week this far? Have you been able to do your best to keep that positive mindset at least a couple times throughout your day? Are you able to find those little silver linings in every day? So I'm curious to hear what those are. They definitely look different for all of us, for sure. So while we're kind of waiting on some people to join in today, I'm going to start typing just some of the things I kind of wanted to go over today. So today, 3-2-1 Thursday. So I actually borrowed this concept from a friend. I actually just got an email just a couple hours ago, so I immediately kind of changed what I was thinking about doing for today. And this was an email from somebody by the name of James Cleary. I'm not entirely sure of who he is. It says he's the author of the million-copy bestseller Atomic Habits, and he's also the creator of the Habit Journal. So I had someone send me an email, and it was this concept he has of 3-2-1 Thursday. So I really like that idea. So he has his own newsletter he kind of puts out, weekly newsletter. He does a 3-2-1 newsletter, and every Thursday he shares 3 ideas from him, 2 quotes from others, and 1 question for you to ponder. So you can also look him up too, James Cleary, or jamesclear.com is the name of the website. So I kind of read through his, and I really liked some of the stuff that he had to share. So then I immediately wanted to kind of adapt that for my own kind of little topic today. So I went ahead and quickly wrote this up not too long ago. I just wanted to share with you guys and to kind of put that out there for you. And this can be a challenge for yourself today. You can spend some time kind of writing later on this afternoon and come up with your own 3-2-1 Thursday. Come up with your own 3 ideas, 2 quotes from somebody else, and a question. And that question can maybe be something that's, more of a question for yourself, or it can be a question you want to pose to other people, a question you actually want to go ahead and ask other people. It can be fun, it can be lighthearted, it can be silly. We've kind of been trying to do that lately, switching up our topics just to keep things kind of lighthearted and, to keep us all in that fresh mindset of, just trying not to stay bogged down in all that heaviness and all the mourning and the grief right now. And, I think it's important to bring ourselves out of that sometimes, and sometimes we have to force ourselves a little bit. So anyways, your questions can be silly, they can be lighthearted, and, you can share your 3-2-1 Thursday. You can kind of create your own little 3-2-1 Thursday newsletter for your household if you are quarantined with family or friends or significant others or whoever you've been staying with. And if you live by yourself, I do. So, if you live by yourself, you can still write up your own 3-2-1 little newsletter there, and just something to kind of, focus you and just to sit down for a little bit and, take some time and just work on a little project, even if it's just something to write. I've really been working on, or trying to do my best to setting aside time to do the things that I enjoy. It's just become really important. For those of you who also work at home, you're probably also share that understanding of, it's really challenging to sit and be at the computer all day long and to be making phone calls all day long. And while those things are all well and good and they're positive, and I'm so grateful that I'm still able to work from home, it's a lot sometimes. So what I've really been working on is, doing my best to find that balance. And I think balance is kind of along those lines of perfection, right? That idea, we have that acceptance and that awareness that we can't ever achieve full perfection and we can't ever achieve complete balance, right? But it doesn't mean we stop striving for those things, So balance is just one of those things I've been striving for lately. I know I'm not going to 100% achieve it, and there's some days where I'm going to do really well, and there's some days where I'm going to do really crappy at it, and that's okay. I can't be, there's that idea, I can't be perfect every single day or anyways, but I can still strive for these things because it keeps me hungry, it keeps me motivated, it keeps me, having that hard work ethic. So anyways, I've trying to do my best of finding that balance of, spending time working, spending time communicating and reaching out to the people that are important to me in my life, people in recovery that I'm trying to reach out to, whether it's through work or, other programs of recovery that I work. So I try my best to do those things. But I'm also trying my best to just take that time out for me, put the phone away for a little bit, try to, sit down and do something for myself every day. And that's going to kind of lead into my question for you guys later on today in the 3-2-1. But like I shared yesterday, like I baked cookies last weekend because I felt like baking. Like it's just something that I enjoy doing. So maybe it's coloring, maybe it's sitting down and writing. Maybe it's knitting, maybe it's creating masks. I know a lot of people who have sewing machines at home and are very handy with them, so they're creating these masks for others, which is awesome. You're doing service for other people by doing that. Whatever it is, whatever those little things are that you enjoy doing, maybe it's being outside in your garden right now. I know it's kind of cold and crappy out, but whatever those little things are that you enjoy doing, I just really encourage you to check in with yourself. Are you making time? Are you truly making the time to and play those things throughout your week, and not just saving them all for the weekend. It's important to do those little tiny things that we love and that we enjoy. Even if we're just creating a project just for the heck of it, just to take up some time in our days, those are perfectly okay too. And sometimes it's good to have that. So anyways, that's kind of I see a couple more people are joining on here. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Jake. So anyways, that was kind of, this little project for you guys today is, again, even if you just have to create these tiny little tasks for yourself, something to spark that creative right brain, again, it can be coloring, it can be coming up with some type of writing assignment. I don't care what it is, poems, reading, just anything to spark that creativity. I have a bunch of rocks here that I actually picked up at Hemlock Lake, I don't know, probably a few months ago. And my whole intention was to sit down and paint them, and I haven't done that yet. But, that's just to kind of give you guys some more ideas, and just kind of get the wheels turning a little bit, just start thinking of things. And again, just remaining and trying to remain in that spot of like how important it is to just make sure you're setting out those times to do those little things for yourself. So I'm creating one for you today. And again, for those of you just joining, this is 3-2-1 Thursday. We're doing an email that was sent to me just a couple hours ago, taken from James Cleary's newsletter, something that he puts out every week. He comes up with 3 ideas from him, 2 quotes from others, and 1 question for you to ponder. So I kind of did a little Chelsea remix and came up with my own 3-2-1. So I encourage you guys to ponder over the ones that I have. But again, I would also love for your own assignment, for yourself to be, just spend some time doing your own 3-2-1 newsletter. Just, take up some time, just sit down and be present and be mindful and just kind of, leave the phones down for a while and leave the laptops and the Zoom away for a little bit. Just spend some time just fully submersing yourself into an activity, even if it's, a puzzle or reading or just something to just decompress a little bit. So anyways, I've gone on babbling long enough here. So 3-2-1. All right. So I came up with, well, these are not fully my ideas, but they're ideas that popped into my head that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit. I always think about that as far as ideas go. Like sometimes we come up with ideas, but oftentimes they've already been talked about or done before. So you're almost kind of recycling those ideas. So here are my recycled ideas. So I got 3 of them. So the first one is 3 ideas. So the first one is, and again, this was also in an email that somebody else had sent me the other day, so I'm kind of borrowing that. The idea is that sometimes waiting and not taking an action or doing nothing is an action in itself. And sometimes that's really hard to wrap our heads around, right? I've often been told by other people and other mentors that I look to in my own life that, if I come to a dilemma or a crossroads or a decision that I have to make in my life, and I'm really not sure what to do, and then all I'm doing is getting anxious trying to make that decision, and then I'm overthinking it, and you guys kind of know how that goes. So when we come to that fork in the road and we're faced with a decision or a choice to make, sometimes the best action is do nothing. And that's just something that's been instructed to me by many others. And it took a while to think about that, but sometimes taking no action is taking an action, right? And the whole idea behind that is that I'm pausing before I'm thinking before I do something. I'm just slowing down. Oftentimes in my life, and I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this, but for a long time I lived my life as a very highly reactive person. Just always reacting on impulses and emotions and situations around me, never thinking before I did things. And that got me in a lot of trouble, And so this is the complete opposite action of that. When I don't know what to do nothing. And that's taking action, because you are taking a firm action and to pause. You're taking a firm action to pause, take a step back, take a deep breath, maybe talk about it with somebody else, maybe just sitting with it for a couple of days and just letting, that universal power kind of come to you. Whatever that looks like, you're just pausing, and before you're jumping into something else. I've heard a lot of people say you're responding instead of reacting. I love that concept of doing that. Hey, Candace. So that was the first idea on there. So the second idea is that what you put into it is what you get out of it. Again, this is obviously something a lot of us have heard before. These are just recycling ideas. Hey, Danny. So that idea, what you put into it is what you get out of it. I think about that, and so yesterday we were kind of sharing on some of our favorite recovery memories, and I was kind of sharing some of mine that I miss some of the workouts I got to do as a member, not even as staff, but I miss being in those workouts. And I heard that a lot. What you put into this workout is what you're going to get out of it. I can make this as easy or as challenging as I want, So if I'm just kind of going through my workout, not really putting in a lot of effort, just kind of making it easy and not really challenging myself, those are the results I'm going to get. I'm going to kind of feel that, kind of blah, like I didn't really put in all my effort. And that's just me, other people probably have different experiences with that. But for me, if I put my all into it, if I bust my butt and I push myself and I give, I give as much gas as I have left in the tank, I'm going to feel the effects of that in a positive way. I'm going to get out of it what energy I put into it. And that can go with anything in life. It doesn't have to just be working out. That's just my example that I'm using that I had kind of thought of. But, it's kind of the same thing, now during this downtime that we have, right? What you put into this quarantine time in this pandemic is what you're going to get out of it, So if all you're doing is maintaining, and that's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. If your goal right now is to just maintain and not drop below the surface and you're just kind of trucking along, that is perfectly fine. That's your goal, and that's what you're going to get out of it. If you're putting in the effort to maintain, then those are the results you're going to see. Hopefully, you're going to continue to maintain when you get out of this thing too. If you're in a spot where you're feeling stuck and you're not really taking a lot of action and you're not really feeling motivated and you're spending a lot of time in bed, again, that's okay. That's where you're at. Those are things that you're choosing to do. There's nothing wrong with those things. But that's what you're going to get out of it when we come out of this thing, If you're somebody who's putting in a lot of effort right now and you're really just taking this downtime to do things you love, to try new things, to really sit with yourself and get to know your true self during this downtime and this quiet time, right? Because that's something that's very uncomfortable for a lot of us, is sitting with ourselves and sitting with our feelings and our emotions, right? But that's how we get to know ourselves, right? Is having that quiet time every day. We get to know ourselves by struggling, right? That's okay. We need to struggle through life. We can't be happy all the time. It's not how this works, So we get to know ourselves through those struggles. We get to know ourselves through sitting with those really uncomfortable feelings, through that sadness, through that depression, when we come out of that. So if you're somebody who's putting a whole lot of effort into yourself and growing right now, you're gonna reap the benefits of that. It's all what you put into it is what you get out of it. So that was the second thought, the idea. The third one is you are in charge of your own happiness, and that's tied very much into the last one. But it was just one that just kept popping into my head over and over again. All those are really just kind of tied into each other. But that's exactly as it says. I'm in charge of my own happiness. When my feelings and my emotions get out of whack, and they lean more towards the negative side of things, I'm in charge of that. I can sit with those things, and I can feel my way through it, and that's okay. It's important to feel our way through those, but it's important not to stay stuck in that. So if I wake up, with those really sad, depressed feelings throughout the day, I'm in charge of that. I'm in charge how the rest of my day is going to go. I can either let that completely consume me, and I can let it run my entire day, or I can feel my way through it, acknowledge that, hey, you know what, I'm not feeling that great today, and that's okay. And I can just sit with that for a little bit, but then I can get out of that. I can take that opposite action. Sometimes I have to force myself a little bit, whether it's getting up and going for a walk or doing my workout when I don't feel like it. Instead of putting on sad music, I can do the opposite action and put on upbeat, happy, positive music. Even if I'm not feeling it, just doing it anyways, taking those little actions to get myself out of that funk. I'm in charge of my own happiness. If I have a bad couple of moments, I don't have to stay there. I don't have to let it run my entire day. Time is the one thing that we do not get more of. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to stay stuck in those negative feelings. And I'm not saying to ignore them and to push them down and pretend they're not there. It's very important to recognize those and to sit with them for a little bit. But what I'm saying is we can't stay there all day. We can't stay stuck in that spot. It just paralyzes us sometimes. All right, so moving on. So now we're on to the two quotes. So the two quotes that I picked today. So this first quote is from Martin Luther King, one of my favorite quotes. So faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. I love that quote. It's just such a good reminder, to carry on that faith and to do the things anyways, even when we can't see what's beyond that, even when we can't see the staircase, to just continue to get up and do the things anyways. It's just trusting. It's trusting that things are going to be okay. If I continue to do the next right thing, things are going to be okay. And I know that that's really hard to see some days. It's really hard to see when there's, horrible things happening, when people are passing away unexpectedly, whether, they're sick or, other things are going on. It's never an easy thing. So when that stuff happens, it's really hard for us to have faith, right? I get that. I've been in that spot many times. But for me, it's just hanging on to that faith anyways, just doing it, just taking that first step, trusting that there are more stairs after that first one to take. It's just one of those things that's just a good practice to get into that mindset. So my second quote is from Betty White, because Betty White is awesome. One of my favorite Golden Girls, probably my second favorite Golden Girl. I would say Estelle Getty is my first favorite, and then Betty White. But Betty White is the only living one still. So anyways, this next quote was from her. Betty White says, "There's no formula. Keep busy with your work and your life. You can't become a professional mourner. It doesn't help you or others. Replay the good times. Be grateful for the years you had." And I love that, and I picked that one specifically today because there is no formula about how to do life that we are trying to do right now. There's no formula. There's no book on, COVID-19 for dummies. There isn't. There's no survival guide for this, right? We are each other's survival guides. I firmly believe that. So like she says, keep busy with your work and keep busy with your life. You can't become a professional mourner. And it's just what I was talking about a few minutes ago. We can't stay in that negative, depressed, sad mindset. We just can't. It's not sustainable, and all it does is tear us down inside, and then that radiates out to other people, right? So we can't be a professional mourner. We have to keep busy. We have to get up and do the things anyways. There's no formula. There's no book for this. We're kind of figuring this out as we go. We all are. And we can be each other's guidebooks. I firmly believe there's a reason we are, all of us humans, there's a reason we are all on our own journey and that things in our lives happen at different times. Thank goodness that we are all not going through life at the same exact pace, right? Because what would it look like if every single human was all in that spot of struggling, right? As humans, that's how we move through life. There are going to be these moments of extreme challenges and these extreme grief and hardships that we go through. That's how we grow. That's how life happens, right? Life on life's terms. You guys have heard that. So can you imagine if we were all at that exact same spot, billions of people on the planet, all at that exact same spot? It would be horrible. I feel like the world would just combust, So I firmly believe that there is a reason all of our journeys look different and they all have different time frames, right? So that when some of us are feeling low and depressed and really struggling, we can reach out to others who are maybe in a little bit better of a spot. And that can change day to day. How I felt yesterday, how I felt a week ago, how I felt a month ago is different than how I'm doing today. And it's going to be different than how I'm going to feel and be doing life tomorrow. It's going to be very different, right? But on the days that I'm feeling strong and I'm waking up and I'm like, man, I'm really grateful right now. I firmly believe that. I feel blessed with the situation that I'm in right now. I have a roof over my head. I have food. I have access to you guys. I have access to internet. And I know not everybody has that. And it makes me feel very grateful for the things that I do have. I get up and I go do my workout and I'm feeling hungry. I'm feeling strong that day. I have those days. I do. And I love them and I'm grateful for them. So when I'm at my best, on those days, those are the days that I can help other people who aren't feeling their best. And that's okay, because vice versa, when I'm struggling and I'm not feeling so strong and I'm waking up just really struggling with whatever is going on internally, whatever is going on externally, I feel like I can't handle the day. I feel like I can't face the day. I feel weak. I feel like this big burden's on my shoulders. I have those days too, because I'm human. We all do. So on those days when I'm not feeling so strong, I can reach out to somebody else who's on their journey and be picked up a little bit, right? This is why we're all at different paces on our own journey, so that we can help each other. So the last part of our 3-2-1 is going to be, the last one is one question. So my question is for you guys today. And like I said, if you are going to take the time to write your 3-2-1 newsletter at home, which I really encourage you to do. Again, it just can kind of be a fun activity that you're sitting down, maybe doing with your family, your kids. You can write it for somebody else. So when you're writing your question, it can be an internal question, or it can be something funny and silly that you want to share with your family. So my question is, what is one act of self-kindness you can do today? Of course, I'm always, encouraging people to reach out and be there for others. But what I'm realizing, and maybe some of you are coming to this too, that if my cup is not filled up, if I am not taking care of myself, if I am burning the candle at both ends, as they say, if I'm just exhausted and burnt out and beat down every single day, I can't be there for others. I can't pour from an empty cup. Those are all things you guys have probably heard before, and they couldn't be any more true. So that self-kindness is very important. So my question to you today, one act of self-kindness you can do today. I don't really want to come up with ideas for you. You guys know what things you like, what things you enjoy that are healthy, good for you. Even if it's just taking the time to sit down and, not eat a bag of popcorn and potato chips for dinner. Can you make yourself a nice meal? Can you go for a walk? Like if you're stressed, if your body's hurting from all that stress and that weight you're carrying, can you take a bath can you take a bath? You know what I mean? Just something to relax yourself. Whatever it is. Can you take a few moments and just do something kind for yourself today, please? Even if it's just something so simple as looking in the mirror and just saying, you are enough. It's something that I struggle with very much. But that's an act of self-kindness that I don't often take. So I encourage you guys, even if it, again, just standing in front of the mirror, telling yourself affirmations. It feels silly, right? It feels really ridiculous sometimes. But we need that. We need that self-love. So anyways, that is my 3-2-1 Thursday. Again, I kind of took that from an email that was sent to me. I just lost his name, from James Cleary. So that's his own newsletter. So I kind of took that 3-2-1 and revamped it Chelsea style today. So I thank you guys for tuning in and listening. Again, I encourage you, that's your assignment today, is to make your own 3-2-1 newsletter. So if you guys scroll up in the comments, I kind of wrote what the 3-2-1 is. So it's 3 ideas, 2 quotes, and 1 question. So I'm going to check in with you guys. Keisha's on here. Lex says, my struggle made me. Yep. I put so much into it. Lex says, I put so much into my happiness. I have to pay attention to what makes me happy and do that, even if I don't feel like it. Yes, absolutely. And I think I've shared this on here before too. It's one I share often. That other cliche quote that I probably took from somebody else: "To fake it till you make it." It is so annoying to me to hear that, but my goodness, it's one that sticks with me, and I share over and over and over. Sometimes we just have to get up, take a shower, make our beds, brush our teeth, and just get up. And that's a big struggle for some of us right now. That depression can really just take over. Those of you who have been through it, you get it. Like I get it. I've been there. Sometimes it takes every effort, every ounce of effort you have just to get out of bed in the morning. You know what I mean? But fake it till you make it. Get up and do it anyways. Force yourself to. It's important some days. We can't stay there every single day. It's okay to do every now and then, but we can't stay there every day. So I love that. I love what Lex said about paying attention to my happiness. What makes you guys happy? Do you pay attention to that? When you're out doing something, anything. When you're out doing anything in your life and you get that, you're kind of catch yourself, you're like naturally smiling and you're laughing and you're having a good time and you feel like, that weight is kind of just lifted off your shoulders. Do you pay attention when you're out enjoying yourself and being happy? I encourage you, again, it's all part of that self-awareness and checking in with yourself. So even when you're doing life on a daily basis, pay attention to those things that make you happy. Check in with your emotions. Lex says it's okay to not be okay, but put effort into being happy. Yes, thank you, Lex. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. It is. It's okay to not be okay. It really is, especially during this time. And if all you can do for your self-kindness today is acknowledge that you're not feeling okay, and this is silly too, but if you can acknowledge that you're not feeling okay today, you can just give yourself a hug, give yourself a squeeze, tell yourself, I love you, like it's going to be okay. If that simple act of self-kindness is the one thing that you do today for yourself, great. We can't be okay every single day, but put effort into being happy. I love that. I'm so glad that was said. Jake says, that goes along with the saying I have is, bad things happen sometimes that you cannot control, but you are 100% responsible for how you respond in the midst and aftermath of it. Absolutely. I love that. Absolutely. Bad things happen. Really difficult things happen. Whatever it is, we lose people. Accidents happen. All the horrible things in life you can think of, like, they happen. That is life on life's terms. We can't control that. That is out of our control. Good point, Jake. But I am 100% responsible for how I respond and how I act, right? We talked about earlier, we can respond instead of react. We can choose to do that today. I can choose to respond instead of react, instead of being highly reactive, reacting on my emotions, reacting off of somebody else's emotions. Someone says something smart comment towards me and it makes me mad, can I pause and think before I open up my mouth and retaliate, right? Pause, take a step back. You're responsible for how you respond. I love that. And that makes me think of another one, Jake. I've heard a lot of, oh goodness, let me think of it. Hopeless does not equal helpless. That's one that I hear quite often in different meetings, and oh my goodness, that couldn't be any more true. I can feel hopeless, and I'm sure a lot of us do right now with everything that is going on. But it doesn't mean that I'm helpless at all. Some of us have gotten to those points in our lives where, we're just so down and out, and we've hit those emotional bottoms. We've hit those rock bottoms in our lives, and we feel completely hopeless. We feel like every ounce of hope has been taken away. But hopeless does not equal helpless. I can still get up out of that rock bottom and take somebody's hand that is reaching out to me. I know that I can't do it alone, but I can still take the action of taking somebody else's hand and getting help. I can still take action. Danny says, I love your vibe today. Very upbeat. Love it. Thank you. Feeling a little bit more positive today. And thank you for recognizing that. Like I shared earlier, we're not going to be on top of it. I'm not going to have this upbeat vibe every day. It's just not sustainable. But I do my best. I do my best to keep that, and I do my best to keep that for other people. And for you guys, to be here and connect and be positive for you. I can't go around being negative and spreading negative news and, I just can't, But I have my days where that's not here. And on those days, I have my supports that I reach out to. So thanks, Danny, for pointing that out. Nikki says, I've been in a funk the last few days, and I've been working extra hard to make sure I'm taking care of my recovery and lots of self-care. but I've had to just accept that my routine has changed and there's extra stress, and it's okay to feel this. Absolutely. Nikki, thank you for sharing that, and I'm so glad you're here. That's just so true. So many of us are really feeling that right now. I'm trying to pull up something that someone else sent me earlier too. It's kind of interesting that I hadn't thought about. Lisa had actually shared this with me earlier. This was just a screenshot of a Twitter post that someone had posted from this guy, Dan Sheehan. The quarantine state of mind is having 3 solid days where you feel pretty well adjusted, followed by a sudden, unexpected dip into what we call the hell zone. The hell zone is an anxious, semi-agitated state where you're just sort of off for the whole day, and time flows like you're wading through chili, and your hell zone will never sync up with other people's hell zones, and that's always makes you feel weird and stressed out. Oh my goodness. She shared that with me earlier, and I was like, wow, that is so true. That's kind of what seems to happen, right? So we're got a couple solid days in, we're feeling strong, we're taking care of our recovery, we're taking care of our health, taking care of our family that we're staying with maybe, and then all of a sudden it's followed by this dip, right? Dip into that hell zone where there's anxiousness and we're kind of agitated and you're feeling off and you're feeling empty and you're not really sure why. I just read that and I was like, wow, like seeing someone put that into words, like describing what we're all kind of going through is just, yeah, Nikki's like, wow, that's on point, right? I read that today and I was like, oh my goodness. So seeing somebody put what we're feeling and going through into words was just kind of powerful when I read that. But I love what he says about your hell zone will never sync up with other people's hell zones. And that does kind of make us feel weird, right? Sometimes we look around and we're like, oh God, why are those people so upbeat and happy during this time? We're stuck in a worldwide pandemic right now. Why are they so happy? But, like I said earlier, there's a reason we're not all in our hell zones at the same time. Can you imagine, once again, if billions of people, every single one of us was in that hell zone at the exact same time on the exact same day? It would be chaos. It would be miserable. So if you are in that hell zone right now, you're stuck in that funk for a few days, it's okay. It's okay. There's a lot going on right now that is out of our control, that is, forcing us into that mind state. So it's okay, but can you do what you need to do to get through that? Can you reach out to those other upbeat, happy people that are on their game that day? And those people are going to change. They're not going to stay on their game and on point every single day, and that's okay. But can we reach out to each other? When we're all kind of in those different cycles of our timing of our hell zones. So I just love that. There was a lot of good things that have been shared with me lately, so I appreciate that because it's given me ideas to talk about today. I'm going to wrap up because I'm past my time and my laptop's about to die. But yeah, thank you guys for sharing. I really, again, appreciate everyone's honesty, and their openness on here. You guys truly just help make these videos. You guys kind of help me get through the half hour and, give me things to talk about. And I just love seeing your guys' names pop up on here over and over again. You keep me going. You really do. As always, I will continue, guys, to please reach out if you or somebody you know, somebody you love, friends, family, whatever, are interested in Recovery's peer mentor services. Please call. We have our hotline. It's 585-622-4975, and that's for peer services. You guys can email us. You guys can Facebook message us. I put all the information in the above description under the video today. So please reach out. Please don't hesitate. Reach out. We're here. We're here to talk. We're here to get you hooked up with somebody who will kind of help walk you through your own recovery. Or whether you have questions or you want to give feedback on these videos, we love hearing it too. We've gotten so many positive messages from people just telling us what they've done during this time, telling us how we've helped you guys, and we really appreciate that because it keeps us going. It gives us fresh ideas. So we are just so appreciative of you guys just showing up and being here every day. If you missed this video, parts of this video, or any other ones, all these videos save after we go live. And we also have a Recovery YouTube channel. Yeah. So that's brand new for us. So I posted the YouTube channel link also in the above description. Not sure why my computer's being all laggy. I'm going to plug it in real quick. Anyways. So yeah, so all that information is posted in the above chat, or I'm sorry, in the above, I can't function, whatever this is, the description right over here, that way, this way. So please check us out, check out our YouTube channel, check out the rest of our Facebook page where you can see all of our other wonderful recovery crew doing their thing, doing at-home workouts, giving some words of encouragement, doing some readings. We got meditations going on. We got all sorts of stuff to keep you guys connected, to keep you busy, to keep you active. So please share these, share the videos, share the YouTube channel, share them with your friends, share them with your family, share them with your grandma who's at home, probably bored right now. I know mine is. So, anyways, check it out. Okay. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for showing up today. And whatever today's Thursday, so I'll still be back here tomorrow at 2:00. So I hope to see you all, and I hope you guys have an awesome afternoon. Jake's always giving me the, here you go. All right, guys, take care. Have an awesome day.